Welcome back to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric Dickinson. And before I get started, per usual, if you could, hop over to X, give me a follow there. You can find me at Eric Not Sorry. That's Eric with a K. Just like, in the description here. Also, I'm on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. And if you would, before we go any further, click the like, the bell, follow, wherever you're listening. You know. Tell your friends. That'd be great. So I have 3 stories today. The first one is kind of obvious. I mean, you already read the header, but the first one's the obvious one. The second one is a feel-good story because I needed some of that today. And the third one, ladies, if you like murder mysteries, because we know you do, you're going to want to stick around for the third story. And no, this is not one of those creepy internet things of, we'll stick around to the end. No, I heard this a few months ago. It's an old story. It's old. Like, it started in 1995. Yeah, it's old, but it's a murder mystery, and it's crazy. It's out of Germany. Trust me. Stick around. You're going to love it. Okay, first up, the obvious. We have Lindsay Graham, the United States Senator from South Carolina, died suddenly on the evening of Saturday, July 11th, 2026, at the age of 71 in Washington, D.C., of an aortic dissection due to cardiovascular disease. It's very sad. I know Lindsey Graham was, loved or hated, right? He's a politician. A lot of people are like, some people are shrugging their shoulder. As I've stated here before, I will be nice. Me, honestly, when it comes to Lindsey Graham, I honestly don't have an opinion. I don't. I know he was very hawkish. He was very pro-military. Of course, again, he was hated by a lot. And a lot of people shook their heads like, how does this guy keep getting elected? Look at who he represents. And he is pro-military. He is hawkish. He is go get that guy. Also, a lot of his constituents are in the defense industry or work in the defense industry. If they work on aircraft engine parts, if they work on, anything, wheels that put you put the tire on for the landing gear for aircraft. Those are the type of people that vote for him. And when he's trying to get them money to keep their factories going and keep those people, keep those workers, food on the table, they're going to keep electing him. So that's why he kept getting elected, folks. For those of you that are confused, you go back to your constituents and say, this is what I did for you. Is life good? Keep voting for me. That's how politics works. But I am not one of those people that's also going to jump on the internet and start jumping up and down cheering for this. Again, I have no opinion personally on Lindsey Graham, but I'm not. Maybe when I was 15 because I was a child, but no, I'm not going to go and celebrate on the internet about this, like, unfortunately, and per usual, the same usual suspects that are. However, his his illness, per his office, described it as brief and sudden. Emergency responders were called to his Capitol Hill home for a report of cardiac arrest. CPR was administered on scene. Preliminary findings from the District of Columbia's medical examiner determined the cause as aortic dissection due to a really long word that I can't pronounce, cardiovascular disease. Yes, that you got that. I'm not even going to attempt it. Arterio. There, that's where I'm stopping. Okay? Yeah, somebody out there just said the word. You know what I'm saying. It's a tear in the aorta linked to hardening of the arteries. Now, for those of you that know who John Ritter was, he was famous back in the early 80s. I don't know if it was late 70s, but I remember maybe the 80s when he was in Three's Company. He was also, but when he was starring in the show Eight Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, I'm so glad they shortened that to 8 Simple Rules. He actually had this same issue, and this is what took the life of John Ritter. It just happens. I mean, you got a clog, the blood's got to go somewhere, and yeah, there's nothing they could have done. This is a serious, often rapidly fatal condition unrelated to a typical heart attack. Again, it's just, there's a bad tube. Tube gets plugged, blood's got to go somewhere, and it went out the sidewall. So some of the other stuff, speaking of the internet, about, here's his last line. I purposely saved this. Authorities, including the FBI agents, responded to his residence as a standard precaution. No evidence of foul play was found or suggested. The reason why I wanted to put that in there is because of the internet. After this happened, my God, I love conspiracy theories. I love them because they're fun. Some of them I believe. Some, sure, but I love hearing them all because they're wild. They're fun. They're just fun. This was insane. Okay, the guy was 71. Let's just look at facts. Regardless of how you feel or felt about Lindsay Graham, let's just look at it. He was 71. Okay. It's not young. Not old. Like, not 90. But he's 71. He's not exactly Mr. Fit, right? Again, I'm not being mean. I'm just being factual here. He was not, fit and trim. He was not hitting the gym every day. That obviously contributed to this over time. If you carry extra weight over a long period of time, ask any doctor. I mean, I read it on the internet, and I'm not a genius. A lot of people in the conspiracy sphere were, Russia's been trying to assassinate him, and they were connecting it to posters that terroristic rioters in Iran were holding up signs of Lindsey Graham wanting him dead. It's like, yeah, first of all, guys, that's not new. They were doing shit like that in the 70s, in the 80s. Holding up photos of our political leaders with bullet holes in it. This is nothing new. Oh, well, Russia's back in Iran. It's like, oh my, and he just came back from Kiev, and he was, oh my God. Dude. He was 71, clearly not Mr. Fit, probably wasn't eating the proper stuff. Again, I'm not being mean, I'm just being factual here. My dad was 73. He was not overweight. Never really was throughout his whole life. A little dad bod, but really, I mean, my dad wasn't Mr. But he was relatively slender. He was stout, but slender. He was 73. I mean, as the old saying goes, when your punch card's punched, bro, it's out. It's time to go. These people are insane. Insane. And these were people on the right. My side. You're not helping. Really, you're not. Stop. You're sounding crazy. Now look, again, to the conspiracy people, I'll be fair. In his position as a United States Senator, and he was in politics for a long time, he was also an Air Force veteran. I believe 33 years. Retired colonel, if you did not know that. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. I had to look. I heard it today. Looked it up. But I'm like, yes, in his line of work, it can be dangerous. No kidding. Just like a celebrity, any politician, it's dangerous. Yes, there are people out there, bad actors, that are looking to do harm to our politics. Yes. It's not out of the realm of possibility that something somewhere done by someone could have contributed to this. Sure. 0.05%, but there's a percentage. This weekend, these people, they were unhinged. They were diving headfirst into the deep end, and there was no water. It was frightening to see. One of my people I follow, Sean, I think that's your name. What's up, dude? He was posting like, I'm going to have to just get off Twitter today because I can't. That my timeline, basically, he was like, my timeline's retarded. And I'm like, yep, yes it is. Like, again, could someone, again, it's not out of the realm, but Jesus Christ. Dude, he was 71. He was a little fluffy. He probably ate a lot of the good stuff. You know what I mean? The good stuff. It happens. It happens. It's sad. Some people aren't sad. Okay. I don't want to hear your hate. I just don't care. But it's a big story. I had to cover it. So rest in peace, Lindsay Graham. Now, the feel-good story. This was awesome. Someone shared it on X. I don't know when they did, but I commented literally, let's see here, 15 minutes ago. I looked up this story because I saw it. I'm like, I need that. I want to cover that. That's awesome because it's a feel-good story, because who doesn't need more feel-good stories? There's so much. The heat wave is coming. Yeah, Connecticut and New England. I don't know about New England. I'm just focused on where my hot, sweaty ass is going to be the next couple of days. We got a heat wave coming in for, let's see, the 14th. So I'm releasing this the 14th. So yeah, today was terrible. Tomorrow is not going to be much better. So it's twins. But I wanted some feel-good stuff. So Iowa. What's up, Iowa? Two 13-year-old boys from Fruitland, Iowa specifically, highlighting you today, Gunner Skidmore and Cohen Chick. They rescued an elderly neighbor who had been lying injured in her yard for over 16 hours. Dude, recently I covered the story this past winter here in Connecticut. There was an elderly woman at a retirement home. Now, granted, wintertime in Connecticut, well, Iowa, I don't have to tell you how bad, yeah, y'all would be in t-shirts here. Anyways, we had, sadly, an elderly woman wander out of her, the homes that she was in, and she froze to death because nobody found her in time. And this woman was laying injured in her yard for 16 hours. Wow. Okay, so on the morning of June 9th, 2026, the two boys were out for a casual summer bike ride. Stop. The two boys were out for a casual summer bike ride on a morning? Dude, you're doing it right. Iowa, if your boys and girls are doing that on a Saturday or on a morning, they're out for a bike ride, you're doing it right. They're not on the phones. You're doing it right. You're doing awesome. All right. So because of that, they were riding near a trail in Muscatine County. I hope I said that right. And if I didn't, tell me. When they spotted something unusual. Gunner initially didn't see her, but Cohen pointed her out. They found the woman on the ground. She was scared, covered in bugs, and urgently asked them to call 911. Oh, man. Dude. She had fallen the previous evening around 5 p.m. while feeding her horse, and she had rolled from her backyard to the front in an attempt to get help. That poor lady. She had no phone or water with her. Oh, man. And the boys noted she was in bad shape after being exposed overnight. Yeah, I bet she was. Gunner called his mom, who arrived quickly and contacted emergency services. Paramedics took the woman to the hospital in Muscatine for treatment. The boys later said that if they hadn't found her when they did, quote, a few more hours and she definitely, wouldn't have made it, end quote. I friggin' love it. You guys are awesome. The community and local officials praised the teens as heroes. Damn right, Muscatine County Emergency Management honored them with a special award on June 15th for their quick thinking and compassion. Emergency Management Director Christopher Jesper highlighted how their awareness and willingness to help likely saved her life. Gunner's mother has stayed in touch with the woman's family, helped care for her horses, watering and feeding them, and planned to bring over lasagna when the woman returned home. Dude, I got goosebumps, bro. Is that not feel good right there? I mean, not only did they save this lady's life, their mom is helping take care of her horse while she's on the mend until she gets home. And then she's bringing over lasagna. Yo, call me Garfield. Invite me. I want some. I love lasagna. You guys, let's see here. Gunner, Cohen, you guys are freaking heroes, bro. Keep riding them bikes. Keep those eyes open, man. You guys are awesome. That is freaking awesome. And the fact that this happened back in June, and I'm just seeing it. It just so happened on my feed on X, and I haven't heard. We need more of this. You guys are awesome. We need more stories like this. We need more good people doing good things. Because in a situation like this, sadly, on the internet, what I will see is, elderly lady or elderly person falls down, and then someone comes over to hey, what are you doing? They took her phone and her rings and jewelry and left them there. And it's like, that I see that all the time. We all do, right? Maybe it's just me. I go to dark places, but this is good stuff. This is more. We need more of this. This is awesome. Gunnar, Cohen, you guys are heroes. Never forget that. You saved a woman's life, guys. For real. That's freaking awesome. All right. This one I saved. This is crazy. This is crazy. As I said, this comes out of Germany. Let's see. Let's see here. Andy Van Den Herk. Let's see. It involves Andy Van Den Herk, and the case is from the 1995 killing of 15-year-old Nicole Van Den Herk, his sister, in the Netherlands. Nicole Van Den Herk disappeared on the morning of October 6th, 1995, while cycling to a seasonal job in Eindhoven. Again, this is I'm hoping I'm saying it right. October 6th is a tough day. Her bicycle was found in the Dommel River that evening, and her backpack was later recovered near the Eindhoven Canal. Her body was discovered on November 22nd, 1995, in the woods between Mierlo and Lierop. Sorry, I'm an American. Sorry, guys. She had been raped and murdered. Cause of death involved a stab wound leading to internal bleeding plus head injuries. The initial investigation yielded few solid leads. Early suspects included her stepfather and her stepbrother, Andy, who was briefly arrested in 1996, but cleared due to lack of evidence. The case went cold despite public attention, a reward in a brief 2004 cold case review. Okay, this is where things kind of take a twist. So, by 2011, living in England, Andy became extremely frustrated with the stalled investigation. He believed advances in DNA technology could identify the killer if Nicole's body were exhumed and retested. So, Andy came up with a scheme. Yeah, you see where this is going? This dude's insane. Yeah, he's going there. He's going there. On March 8th, 2011, he posted a confession on Facebook. Quote, "I will be arrested today at the murder of my sister. I confessed. We'll get in contact soon." End quote. Dude, could you imagine being his friend? You wake up in the morning and all like, oh, man. You sit on the toilet and you're popping a squat. You're going through Facebook and you're like, Andy, what? Dude. British police promptly arrested him. He was extradited to the Netherlands and held briefly, but released after 5 days, as there was no corroborating evidence, only his statement. He later retracted the confession publicly, explaining it was a deliberate, false admission to force authorities to reopen the case and exhume the body for modern DNA analysis. Don't do this at home, folks. Don't do this. In a 2016 interview, he said, quote, "I wanted to get her exhumed and get DNA off her. I kind of set myself up and it could have gone horribly wrong," end quote. You think? Dude, that could have gone so sideways. His strategy worked. It worked. The case was revived with a cold case team. Nicole's remains were exhumed in September of 2011, allowing collection of fresh samples. It worked. Dude, it worked. DNA from the exhumed remains and crime scene, including semen and hair, matched a profile of an unidentified male separate from Andy or her boyfriend. This was linked to a similar 2000 rape case In January 2014, police arrested Jos de Graaf, born in 1967, a man with prior rape convictions who lived nearby and had a matching MO. De Graaf's trial was in 2015 to 2016, centered on complex DNA evidence, and he was convicted of rape, but initially acquitted of manslaughter and sentenced to 5 years. On appeal in 2018, he was convicted of both rape and manslaughter and sentenced to 12 years. The Dutch Supreme Court upheld his conviction and the sentencing in 2020. Andy van der Herk was fully cleared and has spoken publicly about his actions as a desperate but effective measure driven by love for his stepsister. He did this for his stepsister. Don't do this, kids. Is that not like, when I heard that, I heard it months ago and I was like, what? No. There's some no. And I looked into it. I'm like, really? That's got to be a little bit that's insane. It worked. It friggin' worked. He found his stepsister's killer, bro. And almost put the rope around his own neck. That was... Yeah. Andy, you got some big brass ones, homie. That was awesome. All right. I'm going to get up out of here. My back is killing me. I'm going to go relax. But I do have a special episode coming up real soon. It's going to be a standalone, probably. It's going to have something to do with why this shirt's a little baggy on me today. So, kind of proud of something. But if you like this episode, please give it a like, share, and all that good stuff. Tell your friends. Again, you can find me on X at Eric Not Sorry. I'm also on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. And take care.